Nation of Fit in 10, it is day 39 of the challenge. And I sent you guys your numbers yesterday. Not everybody got their macros updated. In fact, most of you did not. There was maybe just, I don't know, 6 or 8 of you that got your numbers changed, okay? Fear not, don't worry, changes will be coming. Remember, the changes that you had, you know, you only got them 7 days ago, right? So, you know, I make these changes way faster than, you know, I would ever really make for people if they were working with me personally, okay? So don't worry, just stick to the numbers and you'll be okay. All right, questions here. People are saying that they feel like they're living in the kitchen. You don't have to live in your kitchen. Maybe it's just from quarantining yourself, being stuck at home. Listen, you just have to, and I know a lot of you don't like this because the food isn't fresh, but honestly, you've got to, well, I would highly recommend that you batch cook your food. Cook a bunch of meats, vegetables, starches, this type of thing, and have them ready to go so you don't feel like you're living in your kitchen. The other option you can do, and this is going to lead into my next question actually, I used to be somebody who ate 6-7 times a day. Now I eat anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day because I like to have bigger meals, because I like to feel really hungry and then know that I get to sit down and have a big meal. And so I'm just mentioning that because that will keep you out of the kitchen more. However, somebody else asked me about how to space macros out in the day to feel less hungry. So the best way to do this is to have protein and fat every 3 hours or so, and you will not experience hunger. Well, you shouldn't. I shouldn't say you won't, but you shouldn't. I mean, it really depends on your calories and stuff like that. But you shouldn't feel hungry. These are 2 things that will help to, well, actually there's a 3rd thing, there's fiber as well. All right, fiber, protein, fat. Those 3 things will help curb your appetite. Okay, so will sleep. That's what they say. It says it's known that sleep will help to make you less hungry. I don't know if that's true. I have the opposite. If I sleep more, I'm generally hungrier. So I don't really agree with that, but if you, apparently, maybe it's supposed to affect the majority of people that way. It doesn't happen to me that way. Anyways, maybe some more sleep will help you. But protein, fiber, and fat every 3 to 4 hours, that will help to curb your appetite. That will help to stabilize your blood sugar levels. That will help to elicit more dopamine in your brain and acetylcholine, so you'll feel alert and less sluggish. So try that, okay? All right, question here. This is very specific to one individual, so I don't know how helpful this is going to be to everybody as a group, but here we go. Person wants to know, ideally, they want to be what they call an ideal 155 pounds. This is a male. This person says they're gaining muscle but losing weight. What can I do to get to 155? Okay, so it depends on what kind of 155 you want. So if you want to get to 150, if the number on the scale matters to you solely, and you know, I kind of already know the answer to this question, because I'm assuming that it's not just about the number on the scale, although that number is important to you. So I'm assuming that you want to be a 155 muscular. That's what I'm assuming you want. And if I'm wrong, then you can just correct me, but I'm going to go on that assumption. At some point, you know, you've got to, you know, I mean, you could keep your body fat higher and put on more muscle and then have to lose that body fat. Or you can just do what you're doing right now, which is you're gaining muscle. We know that because your scan says you are. Most likely. I mean, the muscle does go up and down, but generally if there's a few pounds in muscle gain, we can make a reasonable assumption, you're probably putting on some muscle. You should be, okay? If you're instituting a better diet, a diet based on awareness and higher protein, and you're throwing in weight training, which I know this person is, yeah, you can be putting on muscle for sure, okay? So you're putting on muscle doing that, and you're losing some body fat. So it's just gonna take time. So my suggestion is you keep doing what you're doing, and it's just gonna take time. Now, obviously, there can come a point where, you know, if you take away too many calories, you're gonna facilitate more fat loss and not so much muscle gain, okay? Because, you know, sort of one takes away from the other. You know, right now you guys are probably on average, and I say on average because you're not all the same, on average you're probably at a good balance right now, but the challenge will get harder, the calories will get less, all right? So coming out of this, you may want to think about, you know, slowly increasing your calories depending on how you do in the challenge, okay? That's a little bit down the road. So what's my answer to you? Just keep doing what you're doing and be patient, okay? Because, you know, like I said, I'm assuming you still want to lose body fat, right? So we're going in a good direction. You've been losing body fat, you've been putting on muscle. We just have to put in the time. Of course, that's under the understanding that during this time, this continued time, that you will still be doing, you know, the diet and the training and all that kind of stuff, right? It's just time. That's all it is. And it will come because you're in a good spot. It's all relative. So if you come into this challenge and you haven't, you know, you haven't been weight training, you haven't really been paying attention to your diet, then you're in a really good spot, because all of a sudden we make these changes to your diet, and then all of a sudden we make these changes to your muscle stimulus. So relatively speaking, there is this big change, right? So it's like you get spoiled in the beginning, but that level of spoiledness doesn't last, unfortunately, okay? But you're in a good spot right now, so just keep going, all right? It's just time. That's all it is. Time with the right things, of course. All right, message of the day. While one may encounter many defeats, one must not be defeated. So while you may feel like you, and you know, maybe you don't, and I'm happy for that, but I'm sure there's some of you who may feel defeated. And that's okay. You know, it's fine to feel whatever you feel, but understand that these are just feelings, and your feelings don't necessarily reflect what may be the best outcome or the best course of action for you. They also may not dictate really what's going on. Okay, you got to remember that. Sometimes your feelings don't represent, so I'm not saying your feelings don't count. I'm just saying they may not represent the picture at hand, all right? So you may feel defeated. The point is you got to keep going. Okay? You need to keep going, because that's the only way, as you've heard me say time and time again, it's the only way that you will succeed is to not give up, right? All right? It's normal to feel defeated. It's normal to have these times where you feel as though you suck, you're a loser, you're good for nothing, all right? Maybe you feel that way, but the reality is, you know, none of those things are true, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Submit, commit, positive energy, positive vibes. Always believe in yourself, give some gratitude, and do not quit. We are on week 6 right now. Did I already tell you guys the Calendly link is up? The calendar to book your scans is up. www.calendly.com/trainonmain. Okay, so go book your scans. They're both happening. There's 2 days that they're happening, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, that's it. All right, book your scan, and I'll see you this weekend, if not tonight, or maybe I'll see you Thursday. I'll definitely see you this weekend, hopefully, right? I'll talk to you guys all soon. See ya.